Hey, what's up? This is GMAC. It's been a minute, but this video is just going to be geared towards, you have to learn to trade or you're going to stay broke. Um, and what I mean by that is, we all come to trading for a certain reason, whether it be, the entry to barrier so low, or, it seems like it's easy at first or get rich quick, but you shortly realize that it's not, a get rich quick scheme, and you have to have the passion for it to stay during the tough times. And I'm trying to build a free community of traders, of like-minded traders, whether you're new or whether you've been trading a while, or maybe you're thinking about it. Um, but I'm just trying to get some passionate people together that want to tackle this, and you're going to come across these obstacles. And if you're like me, a blue collar man who's got a family, wife, kids, try to be respectful, say thank you, and you shortly realize that as you get older, that nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to, you're lucky if you get anybody that wants to help you out. So as a man, you have to do this on your own, and it's not going to be easy. But I say all that to say that there is hope, because there's a lot of people out there that has a lot of good information. You just have to have the discernment to, battle through the scammers and the bad information, and get out there. And the biggest thing I can stress is the mistakes that you make, the repeated mistakes over and over. That's what we got to fix. We got to fix the gambler. We got to put him or her under our feet, so to speak. We have to have a plan of action, a trade plan that is so set in stone that we know exactly what we're going to do when we see it. It's got to happen at the right time. This happens, that happens, boom, it's the right time, boom, I'm in. Whether you win or lose, the emotion has to, go away. And, that sounds easy because, we're trading, we're trying to get money. But if you did everything right and still lost money, you have to view that as a good trade. That's why it's so important to, to journal and to keep track of things. But a lot of people don't even have a plan. They're just out here getting on, pressing buttons, trying to, swing for the fences, over leveraging. Or you go in with a plan, you lose, then you want to get it back real quick. And instead of waiting on another setup, you just make some kind of narrative up in your head and, place it. And this is what keeps people stuck, is their pride, their ego, and their inability to look at what they're doing wrong and fix it in real time. And that's been, my biggest problem. I thought I was going to be, just flying. I was up a little over 40% in these last couple months. I was almost cut that in half. Um, but that's what I needed, and I'm glad it happened. And I thought that, the world was ending and my life was over, and, that's silly. That's just part of a trader's journey. And I'm sharing this with you because I went to a bad place in my mind, and I just got to thinking, this is just, all traders are going to go through this. And you have to persevere. But you have to have a rock solid foundation. And that foundation has to be your trade plan and your risk management. And if you don't know what you're doing, if you're not going in there with a plan of attack, and then the wheels start coming off, and instead of fixing the wheel, taking it to the shop and getting a new one and fixing it, you're trying to super glue it back on, how much longer before the wheel pops back off? It's just going to keep happening. So your bloodline depends on this. I mean, I know mine does. I live very good. I'm very grateful because I've been such an ungrateful person the last month or two. I've just been in my own head, had all these losses, and I'm never going to do this or that, or it's going to take longer than what I thought, and all that's good. But I got good food, I got a beautiful family, and I've got a good job that I'm very grateful for. I'm ultimately wanting to replace that, but when you meet these obstacles, you have to first off identify the problem, then identify the solution, But then if you're in a bad way all the time because of this, you have to have an attitude of gratitude. Be grateful. Be thankful for the little things, because there's a lot of people who would be grateful for clean water and a nice meal, much less a family that loves you and a roof over your head, car to drive. All the little things that we take for granted. So I just urge you to develop a plan, back test it, forward test it, whatever, stick to it. Build that narrative for the trade idea, and if you lose and you followed all your rules, then yeah, you may be a little upset, but that's as far as it should go. It shouldn't go, down this rabbit hole of blown account, reset, reset, reset. We have to do this because nobody's coming to save us. Nobody's coming to give us no multi-million dollars that we could put in the index fund and draw the interest off of and just live, without any worries. No, it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of losses, a lot of losing, a lot of self-reflection, a lot of discipline, a lot of passion and desire to stick through until you get it. And I want whoever sees this, subscribe, join me. I'm going to be live streaming every trade starting next week. I've said this before, but it's going to happen. I need it for accountability, and I want to build a community of people that is just trying to break through for their family, for their bloodline, for themselves, whatever. No ego, no pride, just a bunch of people coming together to share ideas to try to whoop this thing in the butt. And so we can all eat together, and we can all figure this out. The first plan of action is going to be, what am I doing wrong? What keeps happening over and over? Fix that. And then just go from there. Instead of patching it, denial will kill you. You have to be real with yourself. You have to be like, okay, I lost and I wanted to get it back real back, so I over leveraged and I didn't trade my plan because I just couldn't go to sleep down 2R or whatever the case is. You just have to be real. You have to be genuine, and you have to be very self-reflective, and we have to be very disciplined in this approach. And I believe anybody can do it. I come across it, and I'm just a normal guy. I just fell in love with the idea of what trading could bring as far as freedom, and I love the game of it. I'm very passionate about it. But I took a little break to refresh my mind because I was in a bad place. But like I said, you get like that, you got to be grateful. Have an attitude of gratitude. I don't care if a lot of people don't like this kind of video, but if it helps one person, that's all I really care about. So God bless you. Good luck trading, and I will see you on the new week opening gap Sunday night.